What's up, everyone? My name is Marie. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So I'm actually very excited about this speed build because this is the first build that I've done with the new patch that we got yesterday. So I actually just finished off this build a couple minutes ago. Like, I just finished it and then rendered all the footage that I had. And now I'm doing this voiceover, so I literally just finished it like half an hour ago. But I'm so excited about it. Like, I can't wait to share this with you guys because, as you can probably tell by the title, this is a rental in Oasis Springs. And one of the cool things that we get with the new patch is the opportunity to build rental lots in every single world available. So you can have your Sims go on vacation to literally every single world now. And I think that that is so exciting. Like, I've been wanting this ever since we got Solani. So that goes for a lot of Simmers, by the way. So now we can actually build rentals in Solani if we want to, and have our Sims go on vacation to a tropical island. And I think that that is so much fun. And that goes for every single world. So I decided to go ahead and build a rental in the desert of Oasis Springs because I thought that would be nice. I thought that'd be fun. I don't know, there's not a whole lot to do here, but maybe that is exactly why your Sims want to go and stay here in the desert, because they can just enjoy, I don't know, the weather and the pool in the backyard and just go on a relaxing vacation. So that's what I had in mind kind of for this build. And as you can probably tell, I was definitely playing around with the platform tool a lot because this was literally the first time that I was using it. I updated my game yesterday, but I did not have a chance to play with it because I had to work. So I could not build with the platforms just yet. So I had to wait until today. So this morning, I couldn't wait to start up my game and just mess around with the platform tool. So it took me a little bit of figuring out. Luckily, I have seen a lot of videos on it already, like early access videos and things like that. So I kind of knew what to expect and how it would work. But nonetheless, I was still fiddling around with it a lot. But I figured it out in the end, and I am really happy with the way this roofing situation turned out. Like, I've been wanting to be able to do this whole split level thing for roofs, for modern homes for so long now. It's just amazing that we can finally do it. Like, I'm so happy with it. I can definitely just kind of like create every single kind of roof that I have in mind, like for modern homes. It's just such a blessing. Like, I'm so happy with it. And I was definitely playing around with split leveling on the inside as well. Nothing more than like one step though. So, or no, for the bedroom, I actually made the hallway a little bit lower as well. So that made it so that I needed a couple of steps for the bedroom, but I think that it actually looks really nice. You'll see that later on. I was just figuring out the window situation right here, but this is definitely the shape that we're working with for this little house. I also did a little bit of landscaping and I made it look a little bit more like green and lush, which I don't know if that makes a lot of sense for the desert, but I always like to do that whenever I'm building in this part of Oasis Springs to kind of just create that contrast between all the sand and the nothingness. Basically, I just always like to use a lot of plants and shrubs, and I don't know if it makes sense, but it's pretty. So same goes for this fireplace. I have no clue why you would want a fireplace in the desert, but I just kind of created this perfect little nook for it inside the chimney. So I kind of just wanted to take that opportunity and place down a fireplace because I think it just looks cute. You don't have to turn it on. It just looks nice. But I was fiddling around with platforms and all the new half wall sizes that we got. I'm so happy with those too. So there was a lot of things I was excited about. I'm excited about for this new patch. And then we're getting Snowy Escape on Friday, which I can't wait to get my hands on the pack. I pre-ordered it. Obviously, I always do that. So yeah, I can't wait. But for now, I'll just have a lot of fun with the new platform tool and the half walls and everything we got with the new patch. And I also figured, I know that I placed a car in the driveway, but I kind of figured that maybe you could like rent the car with the house if you wanted to use it. Like you could just pay a little bit extra money and use the car. I mean, it doesn't work like that for gameplay. Obviously, the car isn't functional. But I don't know, I just always like to kind of use my imagination for those type of situations. So maybe there is an opportunity for you to rent the car with the house if you want to, and just use the car and go places, go sightseeing, things like that. But yeah, you can really see the house come together. I was just adding a couple of features to the house to make it look a little bit more interesting. One thing that was kind of frustrating me about the platforms is there's a lot of swatches that you can use to paint the platforms, but none of them actually match any of the walls perfectly. Like there's a couple of swatches that are supposed to match walls perfectly, but they don't. Like the coloring is just a little bit off, or the texture of the brick or like the sizes of the bricks are just a little bit off, and it doesn't go seamlessly. And that was a little bit annoying because initially what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of make this house stark white and have everything about the exterior be stark white and very modern and contemporary. But I couldn't get the paintings or the sidings of the sides of the platforms to match the wallpaper perfectly, and I know that I could have placed half walls around the platforms, because that's what all those extra half wall sizes are for, is that you can match every single height of the platforms perfectly, so that you can match the wallpapers perfectly as well, which I know I could have done that. But then I also would have had a trim around the half walls, because you can't place half walls without that little trim around it. And that's one thing that I just didn't want. Like I did not want the trims, because for one of the reasons why I'm so excited about those platforms is that you can now create a little bit of like thickness to the roofing without having to deal with those trims around the half walls. Because usually what I do to achieve that look is I'll place half walls and I like fill it in with a certain type of side table or pedestal or something that comes with Get to Work that fits in there perfectly, and I'll just raise it up with a 9 key, and then it kind of looks like a solid roof. You can just kind of fake it like that. That's what I used to do and what a lot of simmers used to do, I believe, but now we don't have to do that anymore because we have platforms. So I don't really want to have to deal with the trims either, because I'm so happy about the fact that we can just now create thick roofs without trims. So I don't know, I'm just kind of rambling about this, but I hope that you understand what I mean. So that's one of the reasons, or that's actually the reason why I was not able to match the wallpaper and the trims seamlessly, but it's okay. Like I was just messing around with the wallpaper situation and all the colors and everything a lot. I didn't record all of that because it kind of took me a while. But I like the way it looks. Like now it's not like seamless and stark white anymore, but I still really like the way it looks. It's definitely very modern, but just a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more grungy maybe? Not really, but not as stark white as I had in mind, but I actually like it. I actually like it better this way because it's a little bit more interesting looking and it has a little bit more character to it, I think. So yeah, I kind of enjoy it. And here you can see that we actually already moved on to the inside of this little rental. It's not too big, it's actually quite small, though I did use or take up a lot of space for the kitchen because I did want there to be a nice full kitchen for your Sims to use and cook meals and things like that. Then there is only a small dining table because there's also a couple of bar stools right there that you can use. And this house sleeps only 2 Sims. As you can probably already tell, the house is kind of open floor planned, like there is not even a door into the bedroom. So the whole house, except for the bathroom, of course, is kind of like one space, which is kind of what I wanted for this house as well. I wanted it to really feel like a rental, not like an actual house. And just kind of have it just give it that open feel, if that makes any sense. So yeah, it's definitely for a couple. I decorated it for a couple. It could be like a romantic little getaway for your Sims, maybe even for a honeymoon. Like it's not that tropical or like magical of a location for a honeymoon, I don't think. But maybe your Sims don't have that much money, or maybe they really enjoy the desert. Maybe this is where they want to go for their honeymoon. I don't know, it could be anything. But basically, either way, I just decorated this little house for a couple of Sims. But you could easily replace the double bed with 2 single beds if you wanted to. So you could have 2 friends travel here, or just family or siblings. I mean, I don't know, can siblings sleep in the same bed in The Sims? I think they can, right? I mean, it'd be normal. I mean, I think that works. But either way, if you don't want that, or if you have 2 friends traveling who you don't want to be sleeping in the same bed, you can easily swap out the double bed for 2 single beds, and then that should work out just fine. But yeah, you can definitely see that the interior of this house is very modern. I was having a lot of fun with all the neutral colors, and then that pop of blue in the bar stools right there. And I used the same swatch, like the same color swatch, for the couches as well. You'll see that in just a few minutes. So it kind of all ties together, and I really like it. And I also didn't clutter it up all that much, because I figured that wouldn't make that much sense for a rental. It's kind of like an Airbnb situation I was imagining, so I figured that the place was not too cluttered. It just had a couple of towels for the guests laying around, and just a couple of decorative items, but definitely not too cluttered. But here you can see I moved on to the living room. It took me a little while to figure out what I wanted to do with it, but I swapped out the 3-seater couch for a love seat, and I placed down 2 of them. So there's plenty of room for your Sims to just hang out in this living room. They could even, I don't know, invite some people over. I don't know if that's possible when you're on vacation, but you could definitely do that. And this house, you could also just use this as a residential lot pretty easily. I mean, it's a cute little house for just a couple, so you could easily just use this as a residential lot as well, and maybe place down a door in the bedroom or towards the bedroom or something. I don't know, it doesn't really matter, but either way, I figured you could easily use this as a rental as well as a residential, though I did furnish it to be a rental, if that makes any sense. Like, not too much clutter, not too much character going on, it just modern, and I don't know, kind of just, I guess it's just modern is what I'm trying to say. But I really like the look and feel of this house. I was also really enjoying those tiles that I'm using in the kitchen area. I think those tiles are from Jungle Adventure, and so is the wooden flooring, by the way. It's also from Jungle Adventure. I always really enjoy those 2 together, because for some reason, well, obviously they're from the same pack, but they just really kind of go together color scheme wise. I don't know, but I was definitely just really enjoying that flooring right there. And here I was trying to place down a bookcase. One thing I figured with the platforms is that you can't place items too close to the edge, because then they'll kind of clip and they'll just kind of move upwards, if that makes sense. They'll kind of just fly up to the height of the platform. So that was one thing that was a little bit annoying, and kind of took a little bit for me to figure out how to work with that. But what I just tried to do was, if I wanted to place an object that was too close to the edge, I would just kind of raise it up with a 9 key and place it down that way, so that I could still place it wherever I wanted it to. But yeah, that was one thing that was actually a little bit, I don't know, kind of just frustrating to me a little bit, but still, I really like the platform tool, and I think it's so usable. And I'll definitely start using platforms in every single one of my builds from now on. Like, I actually started a build a couple days ago, and I'm going to be working on it later today again as well. And I started working on it before we had the update, but now that we do have the update, I'm definitely going to make some changes to it with platforms and stuff like that. But here you can see this is the little bedroom, I guess, or sleeping area, or whatever you want to call it. Technically, it's not a room in itself. But I did also place down a couple little dressers in here as well. And when I was playtesting it, I did have to move the bed a little bit into the wall because I had some routing issues around the bed. I figured I would, but I just playtested it. And so I had to move the bed backwards a little bit, but then it was all fine. And here, moving on to the bathroom, I actually really enjoy that I can finally place down that shower from Discover University and create like more of like a shower area around it with the platform tool. Because what I did was, as you can tell, like I made it a little bit lower so that it kind of looks more like a shower and doesn't look like the water is going to run through the whole bathroom, if that makes any sense. So I was definitely really enjoying the fact that I can finally do that, because I've been wanting to do that ever since we got that shower. So yeah, just a funny little detail that I was actually really excited about. But here we are moving on to the backyard. I gave them a pool, obviously, because that would be one of the main features of this house. If you're going on vacation to the desert, you're gonna want to have a pool to just hang out and cool off, and just lounge around and enjoy the sun. So the backyard is very small, but I gave them a nice area to just relax. Basically, I also gave them a little barbecue so they can do some grilling, make themselves a nice dinner, have a romantic dinner in the backyard. Because I mean, it's the desert, it's always gonna be warm and sunny here, or at least the majority of the time. So you're probably gonna be spending the majority of the time outside as well. So I figured I might as well just give them a grill and everything and try to make the space as functional as possible. So yeah, that's what I did. There's no skill building items outside though. No, I did not really place an easel or a chess table or anything because I figured it's only a rental, like you don't really need that. You can work on your skills when you're at home, though there is a bookcase that is accessible, so you could work on your skills from by reading books if you want to do that. But yeah, not much going on outside here other than just a couple of lounge chairs and just another nice little couch for your Sims to hang out and enjoy the sun, enjoy the weather, enjoy their time together, basically. And I just placed down a couple of lights in the pool and a floaty as well. And I did a little bit of terrain paint and extra landscaping. And I think I placed down a couple of lights outside as well. But then that is already going to be it for this build. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. You can go ahead and download this build off the gallery if you want to. My username on the gallery is Simmarysims. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram if you'd like. My username on there is Simmarysims as well. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next build. Bye!